Hello friends, welcome to my channel. You can search my all the educational videos by typing Pravinesh Publication on YouTube. These are all educational purpose video. If you like my videos, then please subscribe the button which is given in the corner and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so you will get all the updates and share to maximum student so they can understand the concept of these all the chapters in this lockdown period. Today I am going to explain Standard 9 Science Chapter 2 is Matter Around Us Pure in that part 3. Topic 2.3.5 is a dye in black ink a single color. Activity 2.7 take a thin strip of filter paper, draw a line on it using a pencil approximately 3 cm above the lower edge. Put a small drop of ink, water soluble, that is, from a sketch pen or a fountain pen, at the center of the line. Let it dry. Lower the filter paper into a jar, glass or beaker or test tube containing water so that the drop of ink on the paper is just above the water level as shown in the figure 2.8b, and leave it undisturbed. Watch carefully as the water rises up on the filter paper. Record your observation. Friends, in the figure 2.8 you can see that in figure A we have take a strip of a filter paper and we have drawn a line and done the spot of ink. When you put this into a jar containing water, so you can see the different color after some time. Friends, you can do this activity at home also. You can use a newspaper, a strip or a tissue paper strip. The ink that we use has a water as a solvent and the dye is soluble in it. As the water rises on the filter paper, it takes along with it the dye particles. Usually, a dye is a mixture of two or more colors. The colored component that is more soluble in water rises faster, and in this way the colors get separated. This process of separation of components of a mixture is known as chromatography. Chroma in Greek means color. This technique was first used for separation of colors, so this name was given. Chromatography is a technique used for separation of those solutes that dissolve in the same solvent. With the advancement in technology, newer techniques of chromatography have been developed. You will study about chromatography in higher classes. Now friends, in activity 2.7, whatever the colors we get, that you can see on your screen. Here, the different colors separated from the dye at a different levels of a filter paper. Now its applications. To separate colors in a dye, pigments from natural colors, drugs from blood. Now friends, topic 2.3.6. How can we separate a mixture of two miscible liquids? Friends, we understood how to separate immiscible liquids, that is from activity number 2.6, and that is by a simple separation funnel. Immiscible liquids means what? They do not mix with each other. Now miscible liquids means what? They mix with each other. So now let us understand how to separate two miscible liquids. Activity 2.8. Let us try to separate acetone and water from their mixture. Here friends, acetone and water, they highly soluble into each other. Take the mixtures in distillation flask, fit it with the thermometer, arrange the apparatures as shown in figure 2.9. Heat the mixture slowly, keeping a close watch at the thermometer. The acetone vaporizes, condenses in the condenser and can be collected from the condenser outlet. Water is left behind in the distillation flask. Here friends, in the figure 2.9, you can see that we have taken a flask, that is distillation flask. In that one we have taken mixture of acetone and water. Then after we have applied the thermometer and then condenser chamber. Friends, what is the condenser chamber? It cools down the vapor and convert it into liquid form. Here you can see that a cold water in, that is from the lower end of a condenser, and that will flow in the opposite direction, and then from the upper end, that is water outlet, a warm water is coming out. Here friends, from the figure, when you heat the mixture of acetone and water, so first the boiling point of acetone is lower, so it boils first and it will convert into gaseous form, and then after it will travel towards the condenser chamber, and here it will condense and convert into liquid form. Then in the other beaker we get the acetone back. So by this method we can separate the water and acetone. This method is called distillation. It is used for the separation of components of a mixture containing two miscible liquids that boil without decomposition and have a sufficient difference in their boiling points. To separate a mixture of two or more miscible liquids for which the difference in boiling point is less than 25 K, that is 25 Kelvin, fractional distillation process is used. For example, for the separation of different gases from air, different fractions from petroleum products, etc., the apparatus is similar to that for simple distillation, except that a fractionating column is fitted in between the distillation flask and the condenser. A simple fractionating column is a tube packed with the glass beads. The beads provides surface for the vapors to cool and condense rapidly as shown in the figure. Friends, in figure 2.10 you can see that fractional distillation. Here we have taken two mixtures, that is A and B, whichever boiling point temperature difference less than 25 K. Now friends, in a fractional distillation, why we need to use a fractional distillation? Because here simple distillation cannot work. In simple distillation, if the boiling point difference between two liquids is more than 25 K, then we can use a simple distillation process to separate both the mixtures. But here, if the difference between the boiling point of two mixtures, say A and B, is less than 25 K, then we have to use a fractionating distillation technique. How we can use it and what is the main principle behind it? Friends, in this technique, when we heat mixture A and B, so here at the same time they both convert into vapor form and they both travel towards the fractionating column. Here, let's say the boiling point of A is 120 Kelvin and boiling point of B is 130 Kelvin. So here the temperature difference, boiling point temperature difference between these two compounds is only 10 K. So we need to use this technique. Here when we give heat, so both start evaporating at the same time and then after they both travel from these beads. Now friends, what is the function of this fractionating column? They have some beads. I have drawn the blue color shapes, circle shapes on this one. So that is the glass beads. What they will do? They will capture energy from B. They will capture energy from solution B. Why? Because B has a higher energy. So B will convert again into the liquid form and it will remain in the flask, while A will travel towards this beads because it is in the still gaseous form and it will reach to condenser chamber, and from condenser chamber it will convert into liquid form and we can get the liquid A back into the beaker. So by this technique we can separate two miscible liquids having temperature difference of boiling temperature difference is less than 25 Kelvin. Now friends, topic 2.3.7, how can we obtain different gases from air? Air is a homogeneous mixture and can be separated into its components by fractional distillation. The flow diagram, that is figure 2.11, shows the steps of the process. Friends, in the figure 2.11, you can see the flow diagram shows the process of obtaining gases from air. If we want oxygen gas from air, we have to separate out all the other gases present in the air. The air is compressed by increasing the pressure and is then cooled by decreasing the temperature to get liquid air. This liquid air is allowed to warm up slowly in a fractional distillation column where gases get separated at different heights depending upon their boiling points. Next is a friend, figure 2.12 is a diagram of separation of components of air. So here friends, we understood two techniques to separate the miscible liquids. Again, what is the meaning of miscible liquids? The liquids which mixes with each other. Here friends, two technique, that is distillation technique and fractional distillation technique. What is the difference between these two? If the difference of boiling point of both the substance is greater than 25 Kelvin, so we can use a simple distillation technique. And in fractional distillation, if the difference of boiling point of two substances is less than 25 Kelvin, then we have to use fractional distillation technique. Again, in simple distillation, there is no fractionating column. But in the fractional distillation, there is a fractionating column which contains some beads. Friends, here what are the functions of beads that you can do practically at home also? Just take a vessel, pour some water in it and put a glass lid or any metal lid on it and try to heat the vessel. Friends, after some time, when you open the lid, you can see some fine droplets of water on the lower surface of this lid. Why? Because when water evaporate, when you heat the vessel, the water will capture the heat and that will evaporate. And when they touch the lower surface of the lid, that lid will capture energy from that water molecules. So they again can convert into vapor state to liquid state. So this is the use of glass beads in the fractionating column. The figure of both the separation technique that you can see on your screen. So this is the main difference between simple distillation and fractionating distillation technique. Now from textbook, topic 2.3.8, how can we obtain pure copper sulfate from an impure sample? Activity 2.9, take some approximately 5 gram impure sample of copper sulfate in a china dish, dissolve it in a minimum amount of water, filter the impurities out, evaporate water from the copper sulfate solution so as to get a saturated solution, cover the solution with a filter paper and leave it undisturbed at a room temperature to cool slowly for a day. You will obtain the crystals of copper sulfate in the china dish. This process is called crystallization. The crystallization method is used to purify solids. For example, the salt we get from the sea water can have many impurities in it. To remove these impurities, the process of crystallization is used. Crystallization is a process that separates a pure solid in the form of its crystals from a solution. Crystallization technique is better than simple evaporation technique as 1 point, some solids decompose or some like sugar may get churned on heating to get dryness. Second, some impurities may remain dissolved in the solution even after filtration. On evaporation, this contaminate the solid. So friends, crystallization technique is better than evaporation. You can see on your screen the crystals of copper sulfate. Many substances convert into crystals. So by this technique, we can remove the impurities and the solid substance that we want. Now its application. Purification of salt that we get from sea water, separation of crystals, that is alum, from the impure sample. Thus, by choosing one of the above methods according to the nature of the components of a mixture, we get a pure substance. With advancement in technology, many more methods of separation techniques have been devised. In cities, drinking water is supplied from water works. A flow diagram of a typical water works is shown in figure 2.13. From this figure, write down the process involved to get the supply of drinking water to your home from the water works and discuss in your class. Friends, in the diagram 2.13 on your screen, it is a water purification system in water works. First we get water from the reservoir. It will go to the sedimentation tank. What happens into sedimentation tank? It allows to solid to settle. Then after this water will move to the loading tank. In loading tank, the sediments suspend the impurities. Then after it will move to the filtration tank. In filtration tank, there are different layers of fine sand, gravel and coarse gravel sand. Here the water is purified. It will get the sharpness as well as some proper taste. Then after, this water will move to the chlorination tank. In chlorination tank, we kill the microorganisms like bacteria. and then after this water will come into our home for the drinking purpose. So by this method we can clean the drinking water and it converts into safe potable water. So in this topic we understood some methods of separation of liquids. So you need to read it from textbook now. Friends, some important diagrams are there. For example, distillation technique, fraction distillation technique, then after the figure 2.13. These are important diagram. Draw in your notebook. And if you have any doubt, then you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. My WhatsApp number is written here. That is 9016487991. I'll be very happy to solve your query. Now, share these videos to all your students so even they can study at home. Thank you.